Hey everybody, it's Ann BB. Today is Saturday, February 16th, 2019. I'm Barb Hammer. And it's been almost a week since I've done a video. And I have to tell you, I got some issues I'm dealing with. There's an apartment upstairs where there's a lot of noise. The old tenants moved out and then they were trying to clean out the apartment. And I got some flooding and been dealing with that, and then a lot of noise because they're doing a lot of work because the previous tenants had really trashed the place. And it's just that time of year where I'm kind of low energy and kind of have the winter blues. And I'm getting kind of overwhelmed with all the stuff that's going on right now with Venezuela and the Yellow Vests in France. And above all, what's going on in Haiti. But I just thought I'd do kind of like a lighter Saturday night kind of video. So, I want to do a video about one of my favorite subjects from the past. StyxenTrannie5.55 is the name that he goes by. His real name is Tarl Warwick. I've called him a number of different names. As you can see here, I did a video, just a very lighthearted video where I made fun of him. I called him Shithead 666 for my birthday. I've called him Sticky Buns. I guess the favorite name I have for him right now is it's kind of a German name. StyxenTrannie5.55. And it's StyxenTrannie 5.55 inches because he is below average in every way, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so what's interesting is last month I got a new viewer who was watching one of my old videos about Hammer 666 or Shithead 666. Oh, another name I have for him, I forgot. One of my favorites, Dr. Satan. And that name is very appropriate today, Dr. Satan. So I get people watching some of my older videos about where I was criticizing other channels that I used to watch. No, Styx is not one of them. I was never a fan of Styx. I watched a little bit of one of his videos a couple of years ago and I said, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, so I've done a number. Let me find here. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, there's one I did making fun of his organ music. Oh yeah, here's one. Styx Shitsenhead 666. That's another name I've called him. And here's a reality chick. I called him Sticky Bun 666. Yeah, so I've done, there's 1, 2, 3, 3. Yeah, I've connected him with other. Yeah, there's another one. It's Dr. Satan. Yeah, I've done quite a few about him. I got one taken down because what's stupid is YouTube, they gave me a strike for a video where I played Wayne Newton's Donka Shane song over a video of Dr. Satan talking in one of his videos. And they gave me a community guidelines strike for copyright infringement where I was playing music over a video of his. I mean, that is really so stupid. And there are people who are like fake left controlled opposition, and they've attacked me for doing that. And they've backed up YouTube and saying that YouTube has every right to do that for violating a copyright. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's how fucked up There's so much fake left controlled opposition where they will defend a corporation um, for censoring YouTube channels for stupid infringements like that make no sense at all. Anyway, so last month there was a new viewer who watched one of my old videos about Styx, Hex, and Hammer. StyxenTrannie 5.55 inches, rather. And this person was, it was a woman raised as a Catholic, and she admitted to being a Satanist. Now, Sticky Buns, Dr. Satan, claims that he's no longer a Satanist. But she had some very interesting comments. She wrote a very long comment arguing and pointing out the reasons why he still is a Satanist. So it's kind of basically, it's kind of like once a Satanist, always a Satanist or something. But she pointed out it was very articulate, what she had to say. And I took a screenshot of her comments, and I'm glad I did because she admitted that she wasn't very politically aware. And she started saying some very strange, sort of repeating a lot of classic Cold War propaganda about communist, socialist, or Soviet Union or whatever. And I disagreed with her. And she got upset with me. And she had subscribed to my channel because she liked me and liked what I was saying, even though she didn't really know much politically. But she got so angry with me that she unsubscribed. Not only that, but she deleted her whole Google account. So all of the comments disappeared. And I am so glad that I took a screenshot of her comments. And I've increasingly had to do that, take screenshots and say things on the internet, because they will disappear like that. Yeah. So anyway, without further ado, I would like to read the comments that she wrote about why Styx, Hex, and Hammer 666 is still a Satanist. So I'll put her comments on the screen, the screenshot that I took of her, or I took a couple of screenshots. Most of them are on one of the screenshots. She made another comment right after that. And I thought that was interesting too. So I saved both of them. But I'm going to read her comments. She wrote a lot, I have to tell you. So be patient, bear with me. But they're very interesting. So all of you Styx, Hex, and Hammer 666 Dr. Satan fans who think that he's no longer a Satanist, well, you are mistaken. So I have the screenshots of her comments. And before, I was reluctant to show the screenshots and do this video because I was afraid of doxing her. But since her Google account is no longer in existence, I don't think it's really a problem. And she was using an alias anyway. So that's why I feel safe in reading her comments now. So here we go. Here they are. Here is the screenshot that I took on January 23rd, 2019. And she had made them that day or the previous day. And they are very, very interesting. So she says, Aunt Bibi, yes, I'm sure he is. Meaning, she's sure that he is still a Satanist. He says he's not, but Satanists don't usually tell people they're Satanists, especially when their faces are out in the public and when a lot of information is available about themselves. For instance, Sticky Buns' real name, location, and other personal info isn't hard to find. He's been on YouTube talking about Satanism for years. When he first started doing it, he was pretty young, and the internet didn't seem quite as dangerous. So he was more free with his identity, like lots of people were. Since then, the entire US has taken a swing to the religious right. At least those people have become very outspoken. At least those people have become very outspoken and dominant, and not just online. I've seen a huge movement of Christians to my area. I don't know where that is. Anyway, a lot of people aren't happy about it because the kind we're getting aren't the best to have around for the local businesses. Many local retailers and restaurateurs are not pleased, but this is the current climate. Increasingly, YouTube seems to have become unfriendly to all kinds of pagans, including Satanists. Now, there are Christians on YouTube openly calling for the death of witches and Satanists. Yeah, so now there are Christians on YouTube openly calling for the death of witches and Satanists. I never saw anything like this just a few short years ago. There was some harassment from Christians, but not calls to kill. Some longtime Satanists were booted off for reasons that made no sense, for instance, because of videos they made years ago. Quite a few witches, including one famous one, announced that they are now Christians. I don't know if you've noticed, but YouTube itself seems to have taken an overall turn to something rightish. I don't know what to call it because it isn't any kind of conservatism I recognize. Conservative to me is like Leave It to Beaver. It's something else. For example, just looking at the commentary at YouTube on the Covington Catholic School incident, you can see there is an overwhelming bias in favor of these white Christian boys, despite their disrespectful behavior toward adults. They are being defended on the basis that they are being picked on for being white Christian boys, in fact. The conservatives I used to know would not condone disrespectful behavior toward adults from kids. Furthermore, they wouldn't defend them using more disrespectful language. Sticky Buns may be arrogant and illiterate, but he's not entirely stupid. He saw which way the wind was blowing, especially after the last election. About 3 months after Trump was sworn in, he announced to the world that he was no longer a Satanist. See why I'm no longer a Satanist video. But as a kind of dog whistle, I guess you'd call it, something that an in-group would understand, but which might not be understood by other people, he still has. He still has I Am God, which is a satanic slogan at his YouTube homepage. Also, ChurchDog42, that's Scott Creighton's channel, dug up a website of his at which he is still making Satanist posts. It's just all on the QT because most YouTubers seem to be Christians. A lot of them will tolerate him as long as they think he's an ex-Satanist. And of course, they love people who say they were once witches or Satanists and have somehow reformed themselves. He's working with that. But I recognize in him a certain type of Satanist, often found among adolescent males. He is clearly LaVey inspired. Now, LaVey is, I think, like the head of the Church of Satan or something. I will talk about this in a minute. He is clearly LaVey inspired. He has done an interview with former members of the Church of Satan and still seems in awe of the Schrecks. Now, the Schrecks, that's another name in satanic circles. It's an interesting name for a couple of Satanists or ex-Satanists. If you speak German, Schreck equals fright. I don't know if that's really their names. Certainly, Squirrely Buns, his last name, is not Warwick, which is pretty masculine and phallic name and entirely based on his own fantasies. It is not uncommon for pagans of any kind to have pseudonyms, of course. Sticky is a pathetic excuse for a man which is why he half lives in a fantasy role playing games. It's so much better than his reality. As a Satanist, he's a contrarian type, and he enjoys provoking. I gather from his YouTube channels and blogs that he has a fascination with the Manson cult. That's Marilyn, or Charles Manson, yeah, which has connections to both the Church of Satan and the founder of its offshoot, the Temple of Set. He's a Satanist, but he's a fraud as an occultist. He just makes stuff up, and his silly followers, if those are real people, seem to believe it. That, too, is part of his Satanism. He doesn't mind deceiving people. Maybe he even enjoys it. No matter what Alex Jones and his kind say, occultists / Satanists / Luciferians / witches don't have to tell anyone what they're doing. In fact, secrecy is encouraged for all kinds of reasons. In Sticky's case, he puts out clues to what he's all about because he doesn't want to be completely disconnected from other Satanists. And as I'm sure you know, before he declared he was not a Satanist any longer, he took a different political position entirely. I believe he changed some aspects of his online persona as much as he could stand to as much as he could stand to change to adapt to the current climate in order to maintain his online presence. A lot of other people like him are gone, either kicked off or harassed off, yet he's still here. So he's not completely stupid. He knows how to survive, but he's an embarrassment. So this is a commentary from a woman who admits that she's a Satanist, and she's being very open because she's using a pseudonym herself. And she said that, so Satanists, they will be open if their identity is hidden, but they will hide what they really are if they're more in the open, like StyxenTrannie5.55. So she made... So I praised her and thanked her for her information. And then she pointed out this comment here below after I thanked her. So I said, this is a lot of excellent information, Astro. Sure glad you're one of my viewers. I'm lucky to have you. This is before she got mad at me and unsubscribed and then just completely deleted her Google account. Anyway, Astrolexes was the name that she was using. So she said to me, Aunt BB, he's wearing his Zeena Schreck shirt today. Often he wears Radio Werewolf, which is a reference to Manson. It's a dog whistle of sorts. So I looked up, okay. So I looked up, because I'm not familiar with these names or, I'm aware of Marilyn Manson, and I knew Dr. Satan has a fascination with Charles Manson. He has a channel that's got a reference to Charles Manson. So I had to look up. Hang on. So, yeah. So she made a reference to this Zeena Schreck. So I had to look that up. So Zeena Schreck. Okay. Zeena Schreck. Here we go. So Zeena Schreck is some artist, American, who's based in Germany. And she was raised in the Church of Satan, which was her father's. Her father was Anton LaVey. So Astrolux had made reference to LaVey. So Styx comes from this organization. This is his background. So he still wears a shirt, according to Astrolux. So he will wear shirts that have satanic references. So one was this Zeena Schreck shirt. And so she was raised in the Church of Satan. And I think she's supposedly become Buddhist or something. I don't know. But according to this Astrolux, I think I get the impression that once you're a Satanist, you're always a Satanist. And they're kind of like sociopaths or psychopaths or something. And they don't really have, I would say they don't really have a moral compass. So they're not authentic. You can't believe what they're saying. They'll just say whatever if they think it will benefit them. So there's this reference to the Church of Satan here that Zeena Schreck came from. Yeah, so anyway, so he will still wear Zeena Schreck shirts. So Astrolux, the Satanist, my Satanist viewer, former Satanist viewer, felt that was a reference to Dr. Satan's, StyxenTrannie's, or Styx, Hex, and Hammer 666's continued ties to the Church of Satan, and he's still a Satanist. The other thing in that comment was that he will often wear a Radio Werewolf shirt, and that's a reference to, I'm not sure if she meant Charles Manson or Marilyn Manson. So Marilyn Manson is a figure I'm vaguely familiar with. So Marilyn Manson, he is also from a Church of Satan background, comes from that kind of background. So yeah, so Marilyn Manson, his name is a combination of Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson. And so he also has a background with the church. So Marilyn Manson is a self-identified fan of Anton LaVey. So that was Zeena Schreck's father, head of the Church of Satan. Yeah, honorary priest in the Church of Satan. And yeah, so it's very interesting. I just wanted to put that out there about Styx, Hex, and Hammer 666. So I don't believe, I think that's partly why Scott Creighton started calling him Dr. Satan, because there's a movie called Dr. Satan, and there's another Twitter account called Martian Lobotomy, and he refers to Styx, Hex, and Hammer 666 as Dr. Satan. So I would say, based upon these comments from this woman who, she was being very open and her identity was hidden. So she was very open about Satanism and why she believed that StyxenTrannie5.55 is still a Satanist. So I just want to put that out there, that if you're a Dr. Satan fan, a Styx, Hex, and Hammer 666 fan, don't believe him if you think that he's no longer a Satanist, because he still is. And he's still manipulating you just like a sociopath or a psychopath would. So he's duped a lot of people, I would say, sadly so. And I often get a lot of attacks over my videos where I've criticized him. But I think I'm very justified. So he saw the writing on the wall, and so he flipped to the Trump train. He was a liberal, and I've shown in other videos how he's still very, very dismissive of Trump's base, especially in the South. He just mocks people from the South. And he mocks people especially from Virginia, and I'm from Virginia. It's really disgusting. You know, we're basically just a bunch of inbred Klansmen or something. I don't know. So I just want to warn you that this guy is a fraud. This guy is a fraud. Okay, that's all I have to say for now. I'll be doing more videos. I just wanted to do this, a quick Saturday night video. There's a lot of stuff going on. So remember to think about the people in Haiti who are rising up and trying to overthrow a very corrupt puppet regime. And I will get into that in Venezuela and other things as well. So that's all for now. And I want to thank you for listening. And I thank you for your patience. And I hope you're having a good weekend. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.